How's everyone doing this evening? All right, well, we're going to have fun tonight. Tonight, I'd love to see all the friendly faces out there tonight, all the familiar faces, and it looks like I know everybody out here because none of you have changed. None of you. We all look, I know I look the same as I did when I was 16, so I have not changed a bit. I can tell you that. So we're here for celebrate tradition, celebrate music, celebrate some incredible people, and celebrate family. That we are a family here in Forrest Hill, and this chorus has built so much tradition, so much memory for so many of us. And we'd like to start with one thing that we've always started with, and that's Harold Bradley's arrangement of the national anthem. So if you'll please rise. We've got one more piece, you can take a seat. This one is another arrangement of Harold's, and we used to start many concerts with this. It's the Dona Nobis Pace. to a wonderful evening. Our next two numbers, we don't have programs for you tonight. We had a little mishap, but that's okay. We're going to get through this. Our next two numbers are going to feature the ladies and the gentlemen on their own, and I'd like to introduce my dear friend, my long dear friend, Mark Aliopoulos, who'll have some words to say.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being here. You know, every reunion has to have its oldest member. So tonight I got elected to be that member. I'm Mark Aliopoulos. I was born and raised here in West Palm Beach. I'm a graduate of Forrest High School, class of 1974. I have been a professional singer my entire career, which has taken me across America to Europe and Asia. I'm currently a professor of voice, coordinator of voice studies, and an associate dean at Palm Beach Atlantic University. My wife Kimberly and I have served as the music pastors at Lakeside Presbyterian Church ever since Harold Bradley retired from that position in 2006. I'm also in my 20th season as the artistic director of the oldest community chorus in the area, the Choral Society of the Palm Beaches. Lest you think this is about me, it is not. I want you to understand that if Harold Bradley had not accepted the position to teach here in the fall of 1972, my career path would have been completely different. You see, I was a band guy. I played the piano in the jazz band, I assorted brass instruments in the marching and symphony band. I was not even planning to go into music in college. Harold had a different plan for me. He turned me to the dark side. You know, I was an instrumentalist and then I became a singer, choral person. I even found out years later that my mom had played oboe in a regional band with Harold. Harold was one of only two people on the planet, along with my sister Cindy, ever allowed to call me Marky. I always knew it was him when he called. In fact, when Kimberly and I were kneeling at the altar at our wedding 20 years ago, this little voice kneeled next to me and he goes, "How's it going, Marky?" As only Harold could do. A choral legend in Palm Beach County named Harry Johansson had built a vocal dynasty here at Forrest High School in the late 60s and early 70s. He moved way west to that new school, John I. Leonard, and that's in Lake Worth. A brilliant honors teacher named Mary Elizabeth Bailey stepped into the gap and held the choir together until Harold's arrival in the fall of 72. The numbers were small, maybe 30 or 40, but the choir was still there, and by the end of Harold's first year, the choral program numbered just over 100. Harold accosted, and I don't say that lightly, every jock on campus to be in the bass section of his choir. Suddenly, overnight, choir was cool, and it was the in thing to do. The first year, Harold immediately decided that he should have a select ensemble, and he would audition them, and they would meet after school to rehearse, and Dimension 20 was born. I was still a band guy, but I joined D20 in the afternoons, and then I learned all the other choral music on my own, so I could sing a contest with the choirs. So I'm often asked, since you're the oldest member of Dimension 20, where did the name come from? Well, I lived in Boston for about 23 years, and I learned that although Paul Revere is considered to be the guy that saved the American Revolution, newsflash, he didn't. He was actually captured by the British, and a guy named William Dawes, among others, got the word out to the Minutemen in the outlying areas that the British were coming by land. Remember, one if by land, two if by sea. Revere, however, outlived everybody else and proceeded to tell the story about the American Revolution from his vantage point. So since I'm the oldest, I'm going to try to remember why we called it Dimension 20. There were 20 in the group, 5 on each part, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. And there was the word dimension or dimensional was like a buzzword in the 70s, sort of like awesome is now. There was also this really cool popular group called The Fifth Dimension. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Some of you may remember that. So we all voted and decided that Dimension 20 was going to be our name, and it has stuck. And it continues to be the premier ensemble here at Forrest High School for 52 years. A couple of quick stories. We were preparing for State Choral Festival in the spring of 1974. Now, there were no fences around the school in those days, and there were no cell phones. We all showed up at the choral room to rehearse during spring break. Some adventurous students over the weekend had decided to put liquid resin in every lock, in every door and office on campus. So, all I can say is that the Russian nuclear power plant Chernobyl, when it melted down, was nothing compared to Harold Bradley melting down in the parking lot because we couldn't get into the choral room. They had to take a blowtorch to every lock on campus to melt the resin, and for the rest of the school year, all the locks looked torched, and I think we moved the rehearsal somewhere else. We had to wait though until all the students arrived and all the parents arrived to move the rehearsal because, again, no cell phones. Harold was pretty unconventional in how he achieved his results. I remember him climbing over the first or second row of students and punching people in the stomach to remind them that they needed to be on their breath and really support. So the deal is that wouldn't fly today, but those of us that worked with him understood that he loved us, cared passionately about excellence in choral music. My all-time favorite story. First fall, 1972. Harold was getting used to the lay of the land at Forrest High School. So there was band that was king, there was orchestra that was queen, and then there was, choir. The director of bands was a tough taskmaster named Lee Jeffers. He was famous for scowling, looking down at his score, holding up his wallet and saying things like, trumpets, I got a $5 bill here that says there ain't no B flat anywhere near that measure you just played. Any takers? We were scared to death of him. There were 110 plus in the marching and symphonic band. They were award-winning even in Europe at competitions. He was very proud of his winning program. So Mr. Jeffers was also a regular adjudicator for Florida Bandmasters Association festivals. One year at States, he judged the Chipley High School Band from the Panhandle. After their atrocious performance, he and the other adjudicators wrote a letter to the president of the FBA saying that the only thing that could be worse for this band is one more rehearsal with this director. Mr. Jeffers even went so far as to get a copy of the recording to play occasionally as a joke. On this recording, you could hear the students playing poorly and then leaving the stage and music stands falling over as they left in disgust. Well, we were all hanging out in the band room one day, and Harold had just arrived as the new choral director, and Mr. Jeffers invited him in to hear a recording of the Forest Hill High School Band at their last festival. And of course he played the Chipley recording. We all stood around, poker-faced, waiting to see Harold's reaction. It was priceless. Harold, however, decided not to get mad. He just got even. Within 3 years, the choral program had close to 300 students in it. Two of my longest and most cherished friends are Scott Leland and Jerry Goff. They were two of the directors in the long lineage of this program. You'll get to hear more about them in a bit. Scott and I were actually roommates in grad school in Boston. We're the two opera department teaching assistants at New England Conservatory for 2 years. These kind of connections run deep in the history of this program. Also in the audience tonight is Diana Lowe, one of the finest voice teachers who have ever lived in South Florida. She continues to teach in the area, and her impact and influence on this program over a half-century is priceless. Diana. So I'm going to close. But I often tell my own audiences, thanks for coming out to a live concert tonight where the performers are not only vibrating the air with their sound, but they're actually taking a risk on stage, just like the athletes do on the gridiron. We should all attend live concerts with the same anticipation and excitement that we do live sports events, not knowing the outcome at the top of the show. You can hear any of this music that you're going to hear tonight online if you have a digital device in the comfort of your own home or car, but it's not the same as experiencing it live and in the moment. It is my hope that each and every one of you will continue to support the Forrest Hill High School choral program and live concerts all around the area. Thanks for listening.
Daniel Cochran, give a hand here. Our superstar over here. Daniel, stay right here. Daniel Cochran, this talent right here. So right now he's at Disney with the Voices of Liberty. If you have ever enjoyed going to Disney to Epcot and listening to Voices of Liberty, Daniel's one of their star tenors. But before, while he was there for a while he was doing this also, his barbershop quartet signature was the International Champions, Barbershop Champions, 2019. And just phenomenal. If you can get on YouTube and watch any of those YouTube videos of Signature, and you can watch him on YouTube and watch Voices of Liberty, because people are constantly going into Epcot and videotaping that. You can see those all over the place. So this is a star right here. Thank you so much. The ladies, just keep in mind, everybody just came together here Thursday night for the first time to put all this together. Not everybody here is a professional musician. A lot of these people just enjoyed and loved doing what they were doing when they were in high school, have continued on with music in their lives, and it's a great treat to see that music and what we did here in high school is still inspirational to all these people. And tonight the ladies, you're going to hear these ladies, and a lot of these these ladies have incredible voices and have done some incredible things. So let's hear them sing. This is another beautiful song, Leave No Song Unsung, with my lovely wife conducting. Thank you, ladies. That was beautiful. I'm going to introduce, here you are, one of our alumni who's doing amazing work. Let me just get this presented. Hold on, I want to get this right. All right, that's not it. I'm going to have you introduce yourself. Tell me, she's doing phenomenal work with some young voices down in Miami, and she's just a star. She really is, but I'm going to have her introduce herself, and then she's going to talk a little bit.
Hi everyone, thank you Felix. My name is Jamie Perez Sutta. I was class of 1998, and I almost didn't join chorus. And I'm so happy that I did because it absolutely changed my life. When I was 13, starting my freshman year, I signed up for chorus because my cousin Benny told me to. But then I walked in the room and she was not there. So I turned around and marched to the guidance counselor and I said, "You need to take me out of this class." And she said, "Sorry, there's only space in chorus or band." And I knew I wasn't going to go to the band room, so I marched back with my arms crossed and fully resistant, sat in the chair with the worst attitude you could imagine a 13-year-old to have. And to make it worse, Mr. Bradley was teaching us an incredibly cheesy choral arrangement of "When You're Smiling." And for a girl who was into hip-hop and R&B, that was not the vibe. But if you knew Mr. Bradley, you know he was passionate, he was inspiring, and ridiculously hilarious. And it didn't take long before he drew me in. But what Mr. Bradley didn't know, and what very few people knew at the time, was that things at my house were really hard. My mom was getting to the end of a painful marriage that involved alcoholism, domestic abuse, and it was a really scary time. I was impressionable, and I mostly just wanted to be with my friends, which at the time meant skipping school and making choices that didn't reflect who I was or who I wanted to be. But I stayed in chorus, and one day I auditioned for La Femme, the women's ensemble, and after hearing me sing, he said, "Girl, you can really sing. But if you want to do something here, you want to make something of yourself, you have to show up." And that moment changed everything for me. Because no adult had ever spoken to me like that, with belief, with high expectations, and with genuine care. And something shifted in me right away. So I started showing up for chorus, for school, for myself, and along the way I was surrounded by people who lifted me up. Mr. Bradley, who did so much that I could even share in this moment, including giving me rides to school when my mom couldn't. Sonia, who became my voice teacher and gave me voice lessons and helped me get into college, and she taught me even when I couldn't afford voice lessons. My chorus peers, people I would have never met had not been for music, and some of them became my closest and dearest friends, like Adriana and Jimena. We had so much fun and laughed more than I wish I could laugh like that these days. What started my freshman year, skipping almost half the year, ended 4 years later with perfect attendance, straight A's, and me becoming the first in my family to go to college. This program here at Forrest High School, these people saved my life, and that's something I carry with me every single day. Earlier this morning, I was actually listening to a podcast, and Jim Carrey's a short podcast, and he said, "Your effect on others is the most valuable currency there is." And that just felt so appropriate for this occasion and what we're honoring tonight. And I'm standing here before you because of the impact that Mr. Bradley had on me and all of these people had on me. And that's exactly why, after high school, I knew I had to pay it forward. I became a choral director and eventually started an organization called Vocal Youth Miami, where we now serve 400 students each year across the county through early childhood music and choral programs. And our mission is to make sure every child, no matter their background or zip code, has access to excellent music education with adults who care about them. I know how transformative that combination can be. And my story that I'm sharing with you now is just one of so many lives that were changed in this place. Being here tonight, reconnecting with old friends and meeting new ones has been so amazing. And I'm seeing people who are carrying the legacy of this chorus into the world. Teachers, attorneys, social workers, caretakers, leaders, each of them using their gifts to make an impact, and so many of those gifts were sparked right here. And to the amazing, beautiful humans standing right on stage, I just wanted to share something with you. You may not realize it now, but one day you're going to look back and see just how much this space gave you. The memories, the friendships, the lessons, they're going to stay with you. And I can't wait to see how you carry forward all of those gifts in your own way. Thank you for letting me share a little bit of my story with you, and now I leave you with Sterling Frederick and Dimension 20.
Good afternoon. What you see before you is some of Dimension 20. We had graduation already, so the seniors are gone. And so we put together a little bit of, well, some of Dimension 20. We do have a couple of seniors that came back with us. But I want to share something with you real quick, and then we're going to try to do a couple of numbers for you. If it doesn't sound good, it's not my fault. But I just want to share something brief with you, a story that I'd like to share with you. I was a freshman at North Shore High School, and I got into chorus by mistake. My name is Sterling Frederick, and they put a gentleman, there was supposed to be a gentleman put in named Sterling Hicks, but they got it mixed up and put me in chorus. I did not want to do chorus. I didn't know what singing was. I just wanted to get out of there real quick. In fact, I couldn't even pronounce it correctly. I call it kukis. And I was sitting in the chorus room, and there's this wonderful, good-looking girl walked in. She was beautiful. I decided to stay. Even though I didn't have a chance with her, because she was a senior and I was a freshman. But just looking at her gave us purpose. And I started to fall in love with chorus, and I was going back and forth, do I want to do chorus next year, my sophomore year or not, going back and forth, until we went to what we call now MPA, but back then we call it contest. Until we went to contest, and Forrest Dimension 20, 1987, walked on stage. When they walked on stage, they walked with such poise and just so professional that it shut the room. The whole room went shh. And the girls' dresses, I remember, it had sparkles and a little like tail thing at the end. I was like, wow, that's nice. The guys were in full tuxedos, not half tuxedos, but full tuxedos. And that was impressive. I was impressed already. They did this song, it was a bird song, and just birds were going all over the place, and it was insane. And I did not know that voices, high school voices, could do something like that. That moment changed my life. That moment is when I decided I wanted to stay in chorus music. What I want to say to the alumni is, I know I've heard your story, that, and how much chorus meant to you, and you guys were a family, but what you don't realize, you went beyond just the chorus room. When you performed, you changed lives that were listening to you, because you changed mine. And I cannot believe that I have the honor to conduct Dimension 20, a group that I looked up to. I taught at Boynton Beach High School for many, many years. And so, let you know how much I looked up to this group. I named the group Dimensional Harmony, as close to Dimension 20 as possible. Harold Bradley meant a lot to me when he first saw me conduct one of my choirs. He pulled me aside and said, "Sir, you have talent, and I'm gonna stay on top of you." He invited me to his home. He fed me. He went over music with me. He taught me what vowels, what it does. He taught me projection. He taught me phrasing. And he would come and work with my chorus at Boynton Beach High School every every year before our fall concert and make sure I'm doing it correctly. And I cannot believe I'm here conducting Dimension 20. We are going to try to sing a couple of our songs. We are missing a lot of people. A lot. The girls group that's standing before you, we're missing a lot of girls. A lot. But we're going to try to fill in. We just had rehearsal. That's why we're late. We were rehearsing. Had rehearsal and we were trying to fill in spots. So again, if it doesn't sound good, it's not my fault.
I love Moses Hogan. I don't know, I just love him. And we're going to try it with only 3 guys. With Moses Hogan, you need about 20. Again, if it doesn't sound good, it's not my fault.
Let's go, boys.
Wade in the water to
did it at Dimension 20, but he made me do it at Boynton. You always pull out their hardest piece and make them do it, no matter who's here. So we have one more piece. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. This is called Beneke. It's talking about brooms.
Thank you, Sterling. Another hand for Dimension 20, today's Dimension 20. And their director, Sterling Kennedy. Okay, so now we've got some marvelous soloists coming up. Am I correct? We've got some soloists? Yes. And, the first ones I want to invite up here are my, hold on, this was written out for me. This is so nice. She was very specific. I'm supposed to pretend I wrote this, but so. Yeah, my wonderful, spectacular, most talented niece, Adriana Zapata, and Esther Miller. Now, the duet they're going to sing is one of the most difficult classical operatic duets there is. They did this in high school, and it's considered a monster of a piece because the singers compete basically against each other to see who's got the better quality voice. So I think you'll understand it once you hear it, but it's a gorgeous piece by Rossini, right? I think Rossini wrote this, right? Yes. So wonderful operatic piece. I think you'll really enjoy it. Zavala and Esther Miller. And both of them, after Forrest Hill, they went on to wonderful music school. One went to FSU, and Esther, you went to USF. So, and they're both music educators. Esther's in Tampa, and Adriana's right here in town. And she owns a large music academy, so she's really moved on with her music that way too. And that was, of course, a duetto buffo di due gatti, which is the cat's duet. Our next soloist, David Chandler. There he is. David's going to be singing Believe in Yourself from The Wiz. And just a little background on David. He is a fatherhood educator at the Boys and Girls Club. Is that correct, David? And he was a former music teacher of Pleasant City Elementary, and of course a graduate of Forrest Hill High School. David.
Good evening, everybody. I got into Dimension 20 through friends in jazz band. I was a jock who grew up downtown off Tamarind, and nobody else was singing chorus. I only sang in school, and I played piano for the jazz band. And a friend, Gilmas and Eric, talked me into coming into the chorus room one day for lunch, not knowing that they had told Mr. Bradley that I could sing. And he made me sing right there on the spot. I believe the song was Amazing Grace. And he says, good, I'll talk to your counselor and your schedule will be changed tomorrow. From there, Mr. Bradley has been more than just a choral teacher. He was a second father for me as well. Today I stand here at Forrest Hill 26 years after I graduated, and for our senior choral end-of-the-year banquet, I sang at that banquet, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And tonight I stand to sing before you, Believe in Yourself from The Wiz, which is an off-put of the Wizard of Oz. But I also like to say that I have my son here who graduated from Forrest Hill last year. And he couldn't join Forrest. But I'm here with you all tonight, and I want to thank the Lord that I met people like Adriana and Jimena and Jamie, amen, who turned to be very dear, dear friends to me, and I just thank you all for the opportunity for tonight. If you believe within yourself, you'll know that no one can change the path you must go. Believe what you feel, and when one day you will know that the time will come, and you will say it's yours. Believe you can make time stand still. Believe you can make time stand still, and know from the moment you try, if you believe, I know you will. Believe in yourself right from the start. You'll have a brain and you'll have a heart. You'll have courage to last your whole life through. Believe in yourself.
That takes me back. The Wiz, any music from the Wiz just takes me right back to school. I think a lot of you will agree. And Sandra, you're here. That'll take me back, right? Our next soloist, she's like family also. I think I have someone, like half this choir is like my family somehow. I said, you're like family, like half this choir is my family. All right, so I'm going to invite Susan Brady, is it Swainer? Swanner, I know it's right. Susan Brady Swanner to the stage. This is an incredible person. This is the kind of person that if she just, I'm going to do this, she's going to go do it. She did. Took off to New York, and her first year there, you've got these kids up there auditioning for years and years trying to get in there. This is the talent that she is. It's not just it's not luck. It is talent.
It's a little both. Listen, the costume fit.
Well, her first year, she auditioned. You weren't union yet, were you? No. She gets the lead in Showboat. Tour in Showboat. Yeah, still. You understand? A year later, she comes back to New York. And, she had auditioned for Phantom that same year, right?
2 years on the road.
2 years on the road. And then she comes back, and she auditions for Phantom. And she's sent to Hamburg as Christine in Phantom of the Opera. For 2 years? Were you there for 2 years?
14 months.
14 months. Okay, so a year? All right. So I like to elaborate the story a little bit different. That's why I don't like her on the stage when I do this. It doesn't work out the way I like it. But she's going to sing for us Think of Me from Phantom.
Susan Brandis Ryan. Before I bring up our next speaker, just because we're going into the Christmas section of this, I wanted to speak about my experience. Everybody has the Christmas portion of our experiences here at Forrest are always amazing. I'll tell you, one year, my senior year in '84, so a long time ago, we were invited to the White House. And of course, Ronald Reagan was still president. And at the time, James Brady had been shot, if you recall, just a few months earlier. So Harry Johnson, the Ambassador Harry Johnson, who was he was a representative at the time, but he lived right here in West Palm Beach, and Harold was friends with him. He got us into the Christmas. It was the national the press correspondence Christmas party, and we got to do. You actually know this area when you walk in. You right into it. It's like a hall. It looks very Romanesque, and it's like a room, and the choir's to the side, and everybody passes through right in front of you. And most people, they drop off the car, they come, and they just walk right in. They don't even pay attention to the choir singing. Well, this was a very special moment because we were told, well, James Brady may come, we're not sure. And sure enough, James Brady came, and his wife, Sarah, was with him. She was pushing him. It was the first time he had been to the White House since he had been shot. And she pushes him to the wheelchair, and instead of going just straight through, she turns. They said they listened to two numbers. They listened to Carol of the Bells, and then the ladies sang, and I was playing at the time, the ladies sang This Little Babe. And they sat there and just stood and sat and just listened to us sing two numbers. And it was one of the most moving moments of my life. I remember that very well. So I'm going to invite everybody to come up here and for our Christmas portion. And I'm going to invite our host, our speaker. Where is it? The very Reverend, here is Christopher Montella is going to come up here and speak a little bit. He's our next guest. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our Christmas portion. Hope you enjoy this. Yes.
Good evening. As you heard, my name is Christopher Montella, and I have the blessing of serving as the rector of St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Santa Clarita, California. I'm a 1989 graduate and a veteran member of Dimension 20. Look at this amazing representation of all the decades. We literally have members here tonight from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s, which is pretty remarkable. So let's give them a round of applause. I am privileged to have been invited to speak about two very special people and their impact on, but how do you capture lightning in a bottle? I'm not sure that I can, but I'm going to give it a try. In the mid-'80s, new choral leadership arrived at Forest Hill in the form of the dynamic duo of Jerry Goff and Scott Leland. While the bar was already set pretty high before their arrival, the program soared to new heights under their leadership. Scott and Jerry were both brilliant musicians, and they shared their love of music and their extensive knowledge with all of us. Scott had a sense of humor that could be unexpected and mischievous at times, and Jerry still has a gift for seeing things in people that they don't often see in themselves. They had high expectations, and they taught us to expect more from ourselves by challenging us to explore music that most high school singers would never even dare to attempt. Just as their predecessors had, Scott and Jerry demanded excellence. But they also taught us how to enjoy ourselves in the pursuit of it. But it was more than just demanding excellence. They made excellence matter. They gave it weight and meaning and taught us to see the value in giving the best of ourselves as individuals to achieve something that was collectively more than outstanding. It was unforgettable. They taught us about legacy. They knew organically what we were all a part of and were connected to because they had been a part of it too. The fact that we're all here today is a testament to the enduring legacy of this program, and they took their role as guardians of that legacy seriously during their time here and after they moved on. And it's clear that legacy continues to thrive. Scott and Jerry were more than mere choral directors or teachers. They were life coaches, cheerleaders, dream builders. They believed in us, and I think it's a true statement that when you know that someone believes in you, it becomes just a little bit easier to believe in yourself. More than the incredible music, more than the myriad life lessons that were learned here and the accolades received, that was the gift they gave us. And that gift has remained and been paid forward through those of us who have made our lives work in ministry or music or any of the other endeavors this illustrious group has undertaken. To say that we are better because of them would be a profound understatement. Their time here was too short, and Scott's time with all of us profoundly so. So many of us carry him in our hearts to this day, and we still turn to and count on Jerry for her peerless counsel and friendship. So today, as we gather in this space and remember all that has conspired to bring us to this moment, we pause and we give thanks for Scott Leland and for Jerry Goff and for the blessing of being a part of music at Forest Hill High School. Thank you.
a treat. You know, you can do Christmas music any time of the year, and it's always a calming effect on us. So I could listen to that all day. I'm going to invite, where is she? My sister-in-law. Oh, she's back here, she's back here. Everybody, this is my sweet sister-in-law, Elizabeth. And when Harold left here, there was only one person that could have taken this job. And I think everybody knew that. And this was this person right here. But it was Harold's insistence. Uh-oh. She needs her phone. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit longer. To convince her to come do this, that she could do it, and what she did was amazing. So,
Yeah, I feel like Harold because
There it is.
he could turn technology on, and we would all do this for him. And yes, I pulled my computer up because there's just so much, and all these people all spoke. Okay, anyway, I'm going to try to be fast because they're standing, and there really are no words to express my heart tonight, but I'm going to try to summarize it because I'm one of the ones that's blessed in all these directions as being one of them, and then being one of the other thems, which is really amazing. Anyway, so, and I'm going to read because if not, you're going to pull me off this stage. So here we go. So I'm honored to be standing here tonight representing all that have made us who we are today. As a Forrest Hill 1990 grad and diehard member of this choral program, I never imagined I would be back as choral director to join these giants of choral excellence. Well, 10 years later, actually exactly 10 years later, because Kenneth was my first graduating class and he was a senior, Harold Bradley gave me the courage to step into this realm. Music is the common thread, as Mr. Bradley often... That's Harold. That is so Harold. I have so many stories. Yeah, that is Harold. Music is the common thread, as Mr. Bradley often said to us in conversation or reunions. Until you are part of something so special as this, you don't realize the impact, connections, and results of the daily grind. Personally, and yes, Harold used to think we were all related, and as usual, he was right. At least 13 of my relatives were part of this choir, because Felix is part of my family now, and 4 of them came along with Felix. So, times are certainly different now, but the tool to reach our young people is still music. We were part of a time when the norm was students taking private lessons, when we had not one student pianist, but 3 at one point, all master pianists studying their craft. Well, this was the Forrest Hill norm. Nowhere else, I would imagine. As I said, I was fortunate to have 3 of the 8 choral directors. I don't know if somebody's mentioned that earlier, I think it's 9, but this school is about 65 years old, and we've been blessed with only 8, maybe 9, choral directors. That's pretty impressive. Because I had all 3, I just want to touch on all of them, even though they all covered them. Mr. Leland was the one I can attest to my connection to the older ones via my sister's years in D20. As I watched in awe, yes, in junior high, and sitting in the corner at rehearsals, I knew that one day I would be singing in that choir. He was the director for the upper level choirs while I was yet a freshman and sophomore, but we had the opportunity to work with him for concerts and combined efforts. The expectation of perfection was the standard, as Chris mentioned, no doubt. Dr. Goff was my director in 9th and 10th grade before they would move away. She challenged my passion for music, pushing me to do my best at everything, even guiding me and teaching me in band. Another chapter I can thank her for, band. As a female director, she was the example of persistence, dedication, and high expectation I would want to uphold in my classroom. Then, as many of us would be devastated at the loss of Leland and Goff, leaving Forrest Hill for a time, Mr. Bradley would step in. Initially, the challenge of change would ruffle some feathers. But luckily, I had a 2-year buffer By my senior year, we were settled into Mr. Matt Bradley's world. Like I said, I could go on. We have so many stories, and hopefully they'll share more. And I don't know, somebody could add this, but as many of you know, they might know, they should know, the word love has been up on the choral room wall in some way or another all these years. I can't remember when it started, but I do remember from the stories that one year the poster or whatever it was had fallen off, and that year turned out to have a little turbulence. Harold would tell me the story. Someone noticed and said, "Wait, our love is gone." That's why I believe that these directors had the love for these directors had the love for their music, and the people with whom they shared it was the overall greatest gift. HB would come visit quite a bit, as usual, plowing through the door and treating my students a little differently than I would. Sometimes they would defend me because he was so old school. But one of the final projects, and I don't know if some of them know this, and Kenneth, you might remember, one of the final projects I remember sharing with Harold was that we all know the Disney thing, we just did Christmas. Anyway, we got to a point where we're like, hey, why can't alumni go? And the alumni would sneak in with us, and then kind of started catching wind. Anyway, I said, why can't we do our own group? And I think I talked to Kenneth and I said, let's do it. Well, ironically, I think it was the year that Harold passed. I don't know if you all remember that. But so we put this group together, and I remember having a conversation with Harold and saying, we got to come up with a name. Well, and I'm crazy. So I took LOVE and then Legacy of Vocal Excellence. And I want to add Legacy of Love of Vocal Excellence because so much of it was based on love. So thanks to them, that group got to go. They went to Candlelight, and I think it was the year that Harold passed away, because I wasn't there. I was at Harold's funeral, I believe. But so this is love right here. This is all created by people that just love these humans, and that's what hopefully we can continue to do for you. As a teacher and director, one never knows the impact we can make on the students, yet the blessings are tenfold. I've learned so much more from these human beings than I ever thought would be the case when studying music education. Even as I made the toughest decision to step away in 2011, the ones I would crush stood by me until the end, knowing I was leaving. And others would be the answer to prayer to step in, to continue this work, the tradition of pride and excellence. So after me, Kenneth Zuniga, which really should be saying some stuff, but I'm going to excuse him on that. Kenneth Zuniga was a senior when I came in, so how fitting that he would step in literally 2 weeks before school started, knowing the heart of those children that I had crushed. He was a senior my first year, and so the next chapter, it was perfect to hand to Kenneth. So Kenneth, thank you. He took over from 2011 to 2012. If you didn't know this beautiful auditorium, how many of you had never stepped into this auditorium? We didn't have an auditorium. We had a gymatorium. Some of them said we sang in the cafeteria. So they came in going, gosh, when they came in the other day. Anyway, many from this program are out there now serving as choral directors from elementary to college level and beyond. And I would say almost half of this choir today is singing, keeping music in their life somehow. We are part of this legacy of love and vocal excellence, and the blessing of being in one place together has been immense. This has been a life-changing moment for many of us, and I look forward to our next chapter. We are not done. We have just begun. Thank you. I know we have alumni in the audience that couldn't join us yesterday or today. And we did this from Thursday night to today. So what, like 6 hours of rehearsal? Yeah, 6 hours of rehearsal. Not bad, right? So alumni that are out there, we want you to come up and join us for the alma mater, and the Lord bless you and keep you. So please start coming up while they are coming up. Because now that we are all back and in full force, we are so inspired to take it to the next level. And we want to keep helping and supporting the arts, as this is a constant struggle in the world of the performing arts and education. So you have, where are these QR codes? There are QR codes.
Yeah,
And
you have the lovely program
she worked so hard on a program and somebody printed it all backwards. I said you should still take them, but I'll put this one right
There'll be
here.
barcodes in the lobby that you can use, and if not, feel free to see any one of us and give a monetary donation to get
Any donations are going right to the Forrest to Acquire program, so anything you'd like to contribute, we will gladly accept. Alumni, come on up and join us. Let them all come up. Okay, now my favorite part. The Lord bless you and keep you. And while they're going to come down and surround you, so we're going to end with our blessing benediction that we always shared. While they're coming down, I just wanted to thank not only all of you, because these humans wouldn't be here without you, and most of you are directly connected to them somehow. And the teacher and me would say, parents, thank you so much for supporting them in this craft. This event, I have a little thank you. We've been wanting to do this for a long time, and if I recall the last reunion we had, and somebody's got to help me, I think it was 1998. Adriana, was that your senior year? That was the last reunion, was it not? Okay, well, that's what I thought. Okay, and then we got together for different things in the auditorium. But anyway, this reunion would not have happened without two remarkable people. Adriana, that is part of my relative 13, by marriage with Felix, or Sonia and Felix. But anyway, my sister and Adriana has done all of this legwork, and my sister has jumped in and put it all together. So we owe them a little thank you. So I snuck and got them flowers. So come on up with this. Adriana, come up here. You're supposed to put them flowers. And then Jerry, that's probably down there now. And then Jerry, And then Jerry, because she was my teacher, and I'm going to put a little side note, because I don't know if anybody's mentioned this, but the Lord blessed us with Ashley Leland, which was born while Sonia was, I think, at 10th grade. And she's a remarkable choral director, like her parents. And she was at Jupiter Middle School for, like, Ashley, 14 years? Jupiter? 15? Oh, 10. Okay, well, yeah, 10. I was close. And now she's at Dwyer High, so... And the next time we do a reunion, they're all going to be directed.
Okay, so of course she got flowers that I didn't know about, and I got flowers that she didn't know about. And maybe some of you knew about both of the flowers. There's lots of flowers. I just want to take a moment because there are previous directors here with us today who created this legacy. And we've talked a lot about everyone throughout the evening. Of course, in our hearts forever are those that are no longer with us. But we have very special people here with us tonight. Gentlemen, I'm sorry I did not get you flowers. But I do have flowers for Jerry Goff, and I have flowers for Liz